I took a trip into the back of my mind, and I found there that nothing was mine. I wanted badly just to see you.
We had first met in the 80s, late 80s. We were both in bands that toured kind of the same places in the South. I was in school at the University of Mississippi, and I was in a band that was based in Oxford, and Pat's originally from Mississippi, so it was like Atlanta, Birmingham, Memphis, New Orleans, that kind of thing. And we had met then, but we sort of got reacquainted in New Orleans in the early 90s.
John had some songs that he started to write, and I had sort of the key to this recording studio where I could, sort of work, whenever I wanted to. So we went in to demo some of his new songs, and just kind of realized that we were on the same page, and that's how our first album came about. One important album that was a big connection for us is the album Big Star's Third, and just Big Star in general, the band, but that record especially, and which I think of as sort of the perfect combination of a southern soul who's heavily fascinated in Anglo pop and kind of making this other thing, and I think that's what attracted me to that record so heavily when I was younger. Was looking back on it, especially kind of reflecting on that a lot after Alex Chilton died recently, thinking more and more about how important his music has been to I think both of us. I think that's one way to sort of look into maybe what we've been trying to do in all these years.
Effort to like liven it up a little bit, and I don't think I ever really noticed how quiet and somber the other records were in a lot of ways. I think that was sort of just where we were at the time. But I think especially Pat's songs had an energy and had just great basic takes, and it just sort of a little bit more sort of in your face.
It's interesting, if you go back to the very first album, I think the very first album, The Green Hour, has elements that we haven't really touched on since until this new album. I went back and listened to that record recently to get ready for this tour, because we're doing a couple of songs from it. It's interesting to remember how poppy some of that stuff was. Come back to that a little bit.
It was sort of obvious that around our second record that I had songs I wanted to kind of just see, and lyrics that I wanted to see through, or just see to fruition. There's always some musically with Wilco, but never lyrical. Obviously, Jeff has got all of that. So it's just something, but it's something I think even he was the first guy to really have a side project outside of Wilco, so it always seemed kind of the thing to do. Golden Swan thing was like in '95, so it sort of just set the tone in a way. I think it was like sort of expected that you were gonna read music, outside of it. So it's kind of the way it's been.
I think it was really good for us because it's interesting to know that there's certainly a lot of Wilco fans that still don't know about On Defense or Pronto or On Fillmore, and it definitely gave us all a chance to let them know what we're up to, and I had never seen Pronto before, so I got to see them and they rocked. They were great. It was a great weekend.
It is such a disparate group of musicians, and I think it's never sort of hit home as much as it did that day for sure, that weekend. Well, this was a good time for us to get out, because it's really it's definitely in the sort of embryonic stage right now. We had a month-long session in October, and it was we were feeling around a lot of very sort of abstract jams, which we've done before, I think, in the early stages of records, but it was a good time for us to sort of, I know we were very focused on this tour and just kind of letting this album come out, the way it sort of should,